It's keto. It's keto. It's keto. It's keto.
I hope you enjoyed this more conversational, chatty, reflective type of video. I had a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions, a lot of things that I wanted to share with you guys as far as the revelations that I had made just in the first 4 weeks of making a major change to my diet and workout and really my relationship with my fitness.
We're supposed to do. And then we were just doing life. And like as we were doing it, I was like,
I was watching this video by Rob Bailey, and he is a very creative, dynamic human who has a lot of different businesses. And he this year is making a daily vlog series for 365 days where he wants to, what did he say? He says it every time. My name's Rob Bailey. I'm a daily vlogger and I want to educate, inspire, entertain you. And anyway, he caught himself in a behavior pattern that he wanted to change. And he was editing his same day video hours later, saw that thought behavior and was like, I need to change that. And then broke the fourth wall, came on as editing Rob and said in the video, and I'm going to change that right now. I want to be more present in this area. And again, it harkens back to me this lesson that has been just ever present. And I don't want to say that it's been drilled into me because nobody's been drilling it into me except for me. This is just a pattern. This is a pattern that I keep seeing. But successful people that make real changes for the better, their speed of implementation is very quick. And it doesn't matter who they're learning from, whether they're learning from themselves, something that they don't like, that they don't like to see in themselves, something that they hear from another thought leader, something that they hear from somebody on their team, something that they hear from a random stranger at a gas station. If they know that that thing is going to improve the quality of their life, or they believe that whatever the change is going to improve the quality of their life, the speed of implementation is so fast. And that also means that the decision to change happens very fast. So decision making happens very fast and making the change happens very quickly. And so when I think about that in, how that parallels, or, how that applies to this fitness journey that I'm on right now, watching videos of myself talking about my thoughts and weight and my everything is why I made such a quick change to my nutrition after that weigh-in on Friday. I am so glad that that happened. That way I can't keep skating by, eating basically what I was eating before, but like dropping calories. Like, no, if I want to make a lasting change, then I'm going to need to make big changes, like big effective changes, and sustain them over time. And so I keep acting like I'm eating low carb, and I am technically eating low carb. I keep acting like I'm doing the things that I should be. But I also know in my heart of hearts, you could be doing better. Like, I know what I need to do. I knew that dairy wasn't great for me. As we can see, I still have a freaking huge breakout. I knew that eating that amount of carbs wasn't the absolute best for me, but I was skating by with it. I don't want to skate by in life. When I think about future Sandy, I don't want her to be somebody who skates by in life. I want her to be somebody who digs in, who leans in when it's hard and comes out the other side of it. That's why I want to believe future me is going to be. And I need to prove that by doing that right now with current me. So when I weighed in this morning, I was 238 and some change, like 238.5, 238.8, which is 6 pounds down from when I weighed in Friday of last week. So in 6 days, my body swung 6 pounds. I did cut down my carbs significantly from 120 a day at the most Now I'm eating around 30 to 40, maybe 50 at the top end. It's pretty hard to eat a lot of carbs when the majority of your diet is meat. Basically, this week, my diet has looked like meat, and sometimes I'll have a keto snack. Not sometimes, most days, I'll have a keto snack to go with it. And that's basically it. That's what I have room for, keeping in that calorie deficit that I created at the beginning of the month, 2,100 calories. Every meal has been under that. So, what that tells me is that I was eating more calories, or I'm eating the same calorie wise, but just changing macros. I'm seeing changes on the scale, a big swing, a 6-pound swing. I've done keto for so long. I know that that swing is probably water weight that I was carrying, and it's all getting dumped out. But I also know historically that keto is the way of eating that makes me feel the best and have the highest amount of energy and mental clarity, and my skin looks the best when I'm on keto. The difficult part that I have is staying on the diet for several years at a time. I have stayed on it for several months to maybe a year at a time, and then after that there's a swing, and I change and I try to add additional things in, and I think, well, I'm healed now, so I can add something else in, and every time my weight has gone up since then. So what does that mean, Sandy? That means that your diet that works for you best is going to be keto. It's keto. It's keto. It's keto. It's keto. I just need to settle that in my spirit and know that that is the way of eating that makes me feel the best. I also know that the more red meat I eat, specifically steak, I feel like I'm on rocket fuel when I eat a lot of steak. So I also know that when the diet is more meat heavy and when I'm not eating as much of anything else, that I feel a lot better. I keep having so many thoughts about all the changes that I've made over this past month, because it hasn't just been staying under a calorie deficit. You're playing dominoes, and it was the hand that knocked the first domino over to then force me to make all these other changes so that I could achieve what I really wanted with the calorie deficit and live the lifestyle that I wanted and see the changes and prove to myself that I can be disciplined and I can be consistent and I can stick to a diet and all these other things that came with it. And so I've made so many changes this month. So, like, the first one that I can think of is that I started I started logging my daily activity and tracking. Like, I started tracking my daily activity and putting in if I met that calorie goal or not in that goal coloring journal. And so it was something concrete, something real at the end of the day. I was doing all these actions, but I didn't have anything to show for it except that I had the goal coloring journal and I was tracking. And I would write little notes to myself, and I've been better over the course of this month of writing notes to myself on how I felt, what was achy, all sorts of different things to kind of keep me on track with it. And that has been huge. Hold on, I need to. As far as my mindset too, there's been a lot of stuff going on, mental work that has been going on like behind the scenes as well. And I had to build up mentally to get to the point to be strong enough to make these physical changes and feel like, okay, you can actually stick to it this time. I was talking with my husband last night about this, and I told him that I was sorry because I have not been doing a good job of taking care of me for him health wise, and I could be doing a lot better. My husband was like, "You've done so much stuff. Like, he's like, you've made so many changes to your diet and to your exercise." And you've done so much work. Like, look at how knowledgeable you are about, macros and working out and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's mental masturbation for me. That was making me feel like I was doing something to accomplish a goal. But I made myself feel good by educating myself further about working out and nutrition. But do I look like somebody who has a lot of knowledge about working out and nutrition? No. It's not learning about working out and nutrition. It's about implementing what you learn for a long period of time and being consistent with it, instead of thinking to yourself, well, I'm doing it, like I'm trying and it's just not working for me. If I stopped learning after that initial 6 months to a year that I was learning about blood sugar and carbs and working out, I don't need to learn every single thing about the most effective workouts and the best rep schemes and all of this. If I had just implemented and then continued to implement what I learned that first 6 months to a year, I would be in such a better place physically, with my weight and my body composition and my endurance and my stamina. And it took me filming myself, watching myself say things that I've seen myself say, reviewing footage, and looking back through old videos and old pictures of myself and where I have been these past 10 years or so. And it's like, yeah, so you kept doing the same thing, putting forth, when I say the same thing, I mean, you kept putting forth the same amount of effort, which wasn't enough, and you weren't consistent. And you were like, oh, well, it's because calorie deficit doesn't apply to me. Yeah, a calorie deficit does apply. But as we have seen from this week, there are other factors that are important to losing weight as well, for your body. And so certain macros work better with certain people. And I know that keto macros work better for me. And as much as I've been trying to avoid it and trying to get around it and trying to sidestep it, like, we can already see the effect from week 1. Let's go. Start the whole workday.